There comes a moment when your words no longer impress anyone, not even you, when the hype fades, when motivation runs out, and all that's left is a choice. Will you do what you said you would do? Because talk is easy, posting is easy, dreaming is easy, but staying committed, that's where warriors are made. It's not about who starts the fastest. It's about who stays when it's hardest. It's not about the promise you made when it felt good. It's about the promise you keep when it hurts. You said you'd change. You said you'd grow. You said you'd become more. So now it's time to prove it. No shortcuts, no excuses, no turning back, because commitment isn't built in comfort. It's forged in consistency. This is not just another speech. This is a declaration, a reminder of who you said you would be. So take a breath, stand tall, and remember, you made a promise. Now it's time to keep it. There comes a point in life when you have to look yourself in the mirror and ask, am I doing what I said I would do? Not what you told the world. Not what you posted online, what you promised yourself. Because that's where true power lies, in the quiet moments when no one's watching, and the only person you can disappoint is the one staring back at you. You see, most people quit not because they can't do it, but because they forget why they started. They let their emotions make decisions their commitment was supposed to make. And the problem with that, emotions change. Commitment doesn't. There's a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested, you do what's convenient. When you're committed, you do whatever it takes. Anybody can stay excited when it's easy. Anybody can show up when the sun's shining, when there's applause, when the progress feels good. But that's not what defines champions. Champions show up when it's hard. Champions show up when it's boring. Champions show up when no one's clapping, when nobody believes, and when quitting would be easier. But they don't. Because the moment you said, I'm going to change my life, you made a promise. A sacred one. And every time you break that promise, you weaken your own belief in yourself. You chip away at your confidence, your trust, your inner fire. But when you keep that promise, when you stay committed to what you said you'd do, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's lonely, you start to build something powerful. You start to build character. Commitment is not about feeling good. It's about becoming strong. You don't grow by avoiding difficulty. You grow by walking through it. You grow when you show up to the gym after a long day. When you write that page, make that call, keep that routine. Not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your brain learns to trust you. That's how self-belief is built. Not by hype, not by luck, by discipline. And discipline doesn't mean perfection, it means persistence. It means you fall, and you get back up. You fail, and you try again, you break down, and you rebuild stronger. Listen, anyone can start. Starting is easy, but finishing, that's where the real test begins. The gap between I wish and I did is filled with consistency. And that consistency, that's the bridge between average and unstoppable. So the next time you think about quitting, remember this, you're not tired. You're just forgetting why you started. You made that promise for a reason. You had a vision, a dream, a fire that was real. And if it meant something to you then, it should mean everything to you now. Don't let temporary emotions destroy permanent goals. Because your breakthrough is hiding on the other side of your consistency. Stay committed. Stay hungry. Not because it's easy, but because you said you would. You see, the moment you make a promise, not to the world, but to yourself, that's sacred ground. That's not just a statement, it's a contract. And every day you either strengthen that contract or you break it. The truth. Most people quit not because they're weak, but because they trained themselves to stop when it gets uncomfortable. They made quitting a habit. They built the muscle of giving up. But commitment, real commitment, is a muscle too. And you build it every time you push past your comfort zone. Every time you do the thing you said you would do after the feeling that made you say it has disappeared. That's where greatness lies. Listen, you'll never meet a truly successful person who didn't have 1,000 reasons to quit. The only difference between the person who makes it and the person who doesn't is that one decided to stay the course. You want results. You want transformation. then stop negotiating with your excuses. Stop asking for it to be easier. Start asking to be stronger, because success doesn't care about your feelings. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired. The goal doesn't care if it's raining, if it's late, or if no one believes in you. The only thing that matters is whether or not you show up. And let me tell you something. When you keep showing up, when you keep your word even when it hurts, life starts to respect you. The world starts to move for you. Doors begin to open that used to be locked, not because something out there changed, but because you changed. Commitment transforms you. It burns away the old version of you, the one who needed motivation, who needed permission, who needed the perfect moment. That version dies the day you say, "I'll do it, no matter what." You stop chasing motivation and start building momentum. You stop hoping for progress and start creating it. That's the difference between wishful thinking and warrior mindset. When you stay committed long enough, something powerful happens. The work that once felt like a burden becomes part of who you are. It stops being something you have to do and becomes something you can't live without. That's the power of consistency. It reshapes your identity. You go from trying to being, from hoping to becoming, from dreaming to doing. But none of that happens without staying true to what you said you'd do. So ask yourself right now, who are you when no one's watching? Do you still do the work when the lights are off? Do you still chase excellence when no one's clapping? That's the test. And if your answer is yes, even when it's hard, then understand this: you're already winning. Because you're building something that can't be bought, can't be faked, and can't be taken away: self-respect. That's what commitment gives you. That's what keeps you unshakable when the world tests you. Stay true, stay disciplined. And remember, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you commit to daily. This is your edge. This is your proof. Stay committed to what you said you would do, because your future self is counting on you to keep that promise. It's get real. Commitment isn't glamorous. It's not fireworks and motivation videos. It's early mornings when you'd rather sleep. It's saying no to comfort. It's working when nobody claps, sacrificing when nobody sees, believing when nobody agrees. Commitment is lonely sometimes. It's gritty. It's quiet. And yet, it's the very thing that separates the average from the unstoppable. Because listen, talent is a gift, but commitment is a choice. You can have all the potential in the world, but if you can't stay consistent, that potential rots. You can be inspired for a week, a month, maybe even a year. But true transformation, that's born out of years of showing up again and again, especially when it's hard. Success doesn't demand perfection. It demands persistence. You've got to be willing to do the work long after the excitement has faded. You've got to keep showing up when nobody believes anymore, including you. That's the moment that defines you. You see, everyone wants the reward, but few are willing to pay the price. Everyone wants success, but success doesn't respond to want. It responds to work. Every time you honor your word, you make a deposit into your future. Every time you break it, you go bankrupt on your potential. So stop breaking promises to yourself. Stop telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. Because every time you push it to tomorrow, you teach your mind that your word means nothing. But when you start following through, when your actions finally match your intentions, you create alignment. And that alignment, that's power. That's when the world starts to take you seriously. When you stay committed long enough, you stop chasing motivation. You become the motivation. You stop needing inspiration because you are inspiration. That's the thing nobody tells you. Commitment changes your identity. It turns "I can't" into "I must." It turns someday into today. Because when you've trained your mind to keep going, when you've trained your body to show up, when you've trained your spirit to rise, you become unstoppable. It's not about the goal anymore. It's about who you become in pursuit of it. And let me tell you something. Once you've seen what you're capable of when you stay committed, you'll never go back. You'll never again settle for halfway. Because you'll realize the power was never in the plan. It was in the promise. The promise you made to yourself. You said you'd get better. You said you'd stay consistent. You said you'd finish what you started. So now, it's time to prove it. There's no magic trick, no secret formula, just commitment, just action, just relentless day by day dedication to the person you said you'd become. Because one day, you'll look back at this moment, this exact season, and you'll realize it was the turning point. The moment when everything inside of you screamed, enough excuses. And that's the day your future was born. So no matter how tired you are, no matter how far you've got to go, stay in the game. Keep your word. Because that version of you that keeps showing up, even when version is becoming unstoppable, stay committed to what you said you would do. Not because it's easy, but because greatness demands it. Every single time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you're casting a vote for the person you're becoming. You see, transformation doesn't happen in one big moment. It's built in the micro moments, the little choices, the silent wins, the times you didn't quit. That's how confidence is built. That's how belief is forged. People ask, how do I build self-belief? Simple. Keep promises to yourself. Because every time you say you'll do something, and you do it, you send a message to your subconscious, I can trust me. That trust, that's everything. That's what turns self-doubt into self-certainty. That's what turns hesitation into conviction. That's what turns average people into powerhouses. When you stay committed to what you said you'd do, you stop living like a victim of circumstance and start living like a creator of outcomes. You stop reacting to life, you start shaping it. The truth is, life will always test your commitment. It'll throw distractions, delays, disappointments, just to see if you're serious. Because commitment is proven when it's challenged. Anyone can be dedicated when it's easy. The real ones stay dedicated when it's not. And here's the thing, most people quit 3 feet from gold. They give up right before the breakthrough. They stop digging because they think the pain means it's over, when in reality, the pain means you're close. You've got to outlast the pain. You've got to outlast the doubt. You've got to outlast the voice in your head that says, maybe this isn't for me. That's the voice of the old you, the one who gave up too soon. But you're not that person anymore. You've evolved. You've built endurance. You've built integrity. You've built trust. And now every day you stay committed. You're creating the future version of yourself, the one who's strong, unstoppable, and grounded in purpose. Because staying committed isn't just about finishing a goal. It's about becoming the kind of person who finishes. The kind of person who follows through. The kind of person whose word means everything. That's rare. That's powerful. That's leadership. And when you become that person, when you live with that level of integrity, people start to feel it. They start to trust you. They start to respect you. And most importantly, you start to respect you. So keep going. Keep showing up. Keep your word, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when it doesn't make sense. Because the results will come. The recognition will come. The rewards will come. But only if you stay committed long enough to earn them. Your breakthrough is waiting. But it's not waiting on the world. It's waiting on you. You said you would rise. You said you would change. You said you would finish. So finish. Don't let this be another chapter of almost. Let this be the moment you decide that your word is law. And your actions are proof. Because when you stay committed to what you said you would do, you don't just reach your goals. You become unstoppable, unbreakable, unshakable. You become you 2.0, and the world won't just hear your words, it will feel your commitment. So say it again, louder this time. I will stay committed to what I said I would do, no matter what. Now go prove it.